Welcome to Open Access. I'm Tamara Young Allen. Today we're joined by FERC's newest commissioner, Willie Phillips, who joined the commission in December 2021 after being nominated by President Joe Biden and confirmed by the United States Senate. Welcome, Commissioner Phillips. We're so glad you could join us for your first podcast interview.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Since this is your first time on Open Access, please tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, I think a lot of people know that I'm a DC resident. I've lived in DC for over 20 years, but I'm originally from Alabama. I grew up in a small town outside of Mobile, Alabama called Fairhope, located on the eastern shore of the Mobile Bay. We grew up on the water, me and my family, swimming, fishing, pretty much year round was some of the activities that we love to do. So I'm drawn to the water.
Cool. Okay. So you joined FERC at such an important time amid discussions and debates on climate, security, and reliability challenges facing the FERC-regulated electricity and natural gas industries. What are the top 3 issues that you will be focusing on during your time here at FERC?
Well, it's no secret that my top priorities are reliability, affordability, and sustainability. And to drill down on that a little bit, I start with reliability because that is the bulk of my experience. Consumers have an expectation that the lights are going to be on 24/7. And as regulators, I believe that we can never forget that that's job number 1, keeping the lights on. I think it's a mistake to view the electric and natural gas systems as 2 separate systems. Increasingly, they are one system in my view. That's why I support calls for gas reliability standards, or at a minimum, cybersecurity standards similar to what we have on the bulk electric system with the SIP standards. Turning to affordability. Affordability is important to me because of my lived experiences. I know that the struggle is real for many families out there, and that has been exacerbated by the pandemic. So it's never far from my mind, as I do this work, those who are even less fortunate than me in the way I grew up. This is in part why I think it's so important that we look out for environmental justice communities, those communities who are traditionally most impacted by infrastructure projects and industrial pollution. What we're really talking about, though, when we talk about EJ communities, is fair treatment and meaningful engagement of all people, regardless of race, color, national origin. I can't think of any reason why anyone would be opposed to that. And finally, I believe that we all stand to benefit greatly from the clean energy transition. One of the things I'm most excited about is exploring grid enhancing technologies. Technologies like dynamic line ratings, things that we can use to increase the efficiency of our grid. That really gets me excited. And that's what sustainability means to me. It means designing an energy delivery system that not only meets the needs of customers today, but will meet the needs of customers in the future.
Okay. You bring to the commission not only state regulatory experience as both commissioner and chairman of the District of Columbia Public Service Commission, but also your energy law experience at NERC and in private practice. How do you think these experiences will influence you as you begin your service at FERC?
Well, throughout my legal career, I've sort of gravitated toward energy reliability issues. Again, it's the prism through which I see many of the problems that face our industry. It's what drove me and much of my work at the DC Public Service Commission, and including my emphasis on grid modernization. So I understand the physical cybersecurity threats that we face as a nation. And just look at the past 10 years, the Metcalf incident, Colonial Pipeline, Winter Storm Uri in Texas, wildfires in the West. I could go on. So resilience is so very important to me. But I also remain sensitive to the impact that our decisions have on consumers, customers. I'm ever mindful of the cost impact on end users. And I'm not just saying, residential customers, large industrial customers, everyone who depends on the system. And diversity in our legal profession, critically important, especially in energy. That's something I've always focused on. I hope to continue to focus on it at FERC.
You've been at the commission now for a few months. Has anything surprised you as you've made your transition to FERC?
My new colleagues have surprised me in a good way. You read the trade press, you kind of get a caricature in your mind about people. And, that doesn't always line up with reality. And that's the case here. I believe every commissioner is extremely thoughtful. I believe everybody wants what's best for our country. And also, I say something about FERC staff. It really is a family. It feels like a family. From the onboarding process to the individual office briefings, I'm deeply impressed by the staff and their commitment to the mission.
And final question, what's one thing that people don't know about you?
My wife would tell you that this isn't a good thing, but I believe it's for a good reason. I'm a bit of a night owl. I do my best work, my best thinking after midnight. But part of the reason why that is that when my kids get home from school, I have a 7-year-old boy, 10-year-old daughter. When they get home, I really try to spend as much time with them as I can. We're doing homework, we're watching TV, we're trying to just, be silly. And then I turn my attention back to my work usually. And I'm up late oftentimes. So that's one thing people don't know about me.
Thank you so much, Commissioner Phillips, for joining us today. And thank you, listeners, for joining us. We hope you join us the next time on Open Access.
FERC is an independent regulatory agency that oversees the interstate transmission of electricity, natural gas, and oil, reviews proposals to build interstate natural gas pipelines and liquefied natural gas terminals, and oversees the licensing of non-federal hydropower projects. FERC protects the reliability of the high-voltage interstate transmission system through mandatory reliability standards, and it monitors interstate energy markets to ensure that everyone in those markets is playing by the rules. Unless otherwise noted, the views expressed in these podcasts are personal views and do not necessarily express the views of individual commissioners or the Commission as a whole. The podcast is a production of the Federal Energy Regulatory Commission Office of External Affairs. We'll be updating our posts when we've got news, so be sure to check out our website, www.ferc.gov, and follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and LinkedIn to find out